Welcome back. We're here at the Champions Classic. This is the post-game press conference for the Mceachern versus Cumberland Christian game. I'm your host here, Mondre Allen from the Love of the Game podcast, and we're sitting here with head coach, defending state champion coach Mike Thompson with his Mceachern Indians. Coach, great game here today that you guys just played. Amazing event. Tell us a little bit about how the game went for you.
First off, just want to thank everybody for having us. It's a good event. Honoring some really great coaches that have been in the state for a long time, so we're honored to be here, first and foremost. And had a tough game. Cumberland Christian is a good team. They played hard throughout the game, made a lot of key shots, put a lot of pressure on us. We snuck out of there with a close victory, but it was a nice game, good for the crowd, and I think it added to the event.
Coach, during COVID, we know how tough it is to get games scheduled. Even sometimes it's kind of hit and miss sometimes about putting together your schedule. How much scouting were you able to do on Cumberland Christian? We talked to
the only scouting we had on them were guys that we knew that we'd seen play individually in different places, but as a team done. That's happened a couple of times this year because of you might have a team that's quarantined and somebody else steps in their place right quick, and you do some looking on Max Prep and stuff like that for records and sizes, and that's about all you have a chance to do.
Gotcha. That presents a pretty interesting challenge for your players, does it not?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you got practice becomes important as far as being prepared for any type of defense or anything like that you might run into. So I kind of puts a premium on that.
Gotcha. You got some great seniors with you this year, Coach. Has that been helping you guys kind of get through this kind of topsy-turvy season as far as scheduling and games and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think experience helps with practice, having to change practice times, not being able to practice. The uncertainty of what you're going to see. It always helps to have guys ready that have done it before. And, we're blessed with some good seniors that have been with us for a couple of years and kind of know how we do things. And it's worked out really well for us so far. We've been lucky.
Outstanding. I'll open it up to some of the players. Randy, we'll start with you. You've been having an amazing season, had a great AAU summer this year. When you come into an event like this, talk about some of the differences between playing high-level AAU basketball and then coming here with your school and playing it on a great platform as well.
Well, basically, like AAU, it's like pretty much fast chase. You have better starters, but it's more structured coming into like school ball and playing other good teams who have played together for a while and know how to play a lot of chemistry, which is different from AAU because sometimes we have a lot of teams who just pick up different players. So that's a big difference.
What are some of the things that that you feel like you worked on coming into this high school season that really made you such an effective player all season long?
One thing I feel like I really been working on is like my post scoring, like when I get the ball in the post, like finishing and pump fakes and getting the off their feet and finishing.
Awesome. Chance, great to see you back on the floor. How are things been for you getting acclimated coming off of an injury? Awesome. Are you happy that coming into this season that you got your kind of recruitment out of the way, that you committed, signed, and ready to go? Coach, I love this group that you got. I didn't expect you guys to rebound the ball as well as you're doing this year. You guys are really, really fighting for it on the glass, fighting for it defensively. Tell us about some of these seniors, man. Bobby Moore, Cam McDowell, Chance, Randy. Like, these guys are really gelled and come together this year.
Yeah, I think last year helped us a little bit. It was a struggle. they should be commended really for the sacrifices they made in that game last year. You know, Sharif handling the ball so much. You know, and he earned that. But these guys are talented. You know, all four of the guys that you mentioned. For them to kind of not take a back seat, but allow him to do what he wanted to do, be a part of it, and really go pretty far in the state championship run. They shot me a little bit with that, and I think that helped the four of them to come closer together. And this year they came out with the intent of trying to win one themselves, and so far we're getting better. So hopefully by the time we get there, we'll be healthy.
Very, very dangerous team. I would have to say, Coach, you got a team that I would not want to be playing come February, come tournament time. What are some of the things that you guys have been doing, Coach? You know, we all kind of watch you go through undefeated season, win a state championship. How do you get this group to understand what that group did to be successful and how they can kind of have their own special moment for themselves?
Yeah, it's a little bit tough because, you know, kids don't want to hear about, you know, I walked 5 miles to school when I was, you know, they don't want to go back and hear a lot about it, although I remind them sometimes, but, you know, they got to kind of blaze their own path, get some rest. You know, when you plan on playing a long time, making sure they're healthy, their legs are good. Talking to them a little bit about the chemistry part, which even shocked me a little bit that teams getting along with each other is a lot more important than I used to think it was.
For sure.
You got guys that get along with each other and understand their role on the team. We spent some time talking about that, and these guys are smart. They have a good understanding of it, and you know, we played a really tough schedule, and I think that's another thing that kind of prepares you for down the road stuff.
Absolutely. And it's one thing that I noticed early on in the season that these guys, even in fall league, these guys are smiling, they're playing hard, but it looks like they're having fun doing it.
Yeah, you know, we have our times when things are not, you know, when things aren't going good, people aren't happy, you know, and we have to struggle through that, but you know, that's just part of the process, you know, so we hopefully we're getting better at it. Hopefully we'll be ready to go when the time comes.
Coach, we'll wrap up here, but wanted to make sure I asked you, you've had tons of success at Mceachern, a lot of winning. You've developed a lot of high-level Division I players, even now with Isaac being a pro. Are there things that you're imparting into these guys to make sure that they have as much success at the next level as some of your previous guys did?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this the allowing me to coach them, allowing our coaching staff to coach when they get on them. I don't think I've got anybody that I couldn't just get in them, you know, and coach them, you know, because that's what's going to happen to them. You know, hopefully they all show me a good work ethic and practice, that they're going to work on their game, and you know, I think they got a level head on them, and I think they're heading in that direction. You know, they have the great opportunity, that's for sure. You know, and that's all you can ask for is a chance, and they're all four going to have one. So hopefully we'll have them ready for that.
Absolutely. Last question, we'll close. Randy, we know Chance is off the board and he's committed to his school, but if I'm not mistaken, your recruitment is still open.
Yes, sir. Well, I recently just cut down my list to 7.
Okay.
I plan on making a decision soon, so
Stay tuned.
Outstanding. We'll keep it locked in. Well, Coach, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us. This is Mceachern basketball. Up next, we'll have the guys from Cumberland Christian. So hang on tight. We have them in the back, so they'll be here just shortly.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach. We're back here at the Champions Classic. This is Mondre Allen from the host from the Love of the Game podcast. We got the Cumberland Christian Patriots after a hard-fought game against Mceachern. 77-76, I believe, is our final score. Coach, if you could just open it up for us with some remarks and tell us a little bit about the game, how you guys feeling?
I thought the game was pretty ugly there for a large majority of it. The energy changed. My name's Alan Taylor. This is Christian Bacon and Jelani Hamilton, 2023 class. The game itself, we were just off. Our shots weren't going. And then when they subbed some of their starters out, we got a little momentum, and then the game tightened up, and it looked like what we see as real basketball, all the time. So it kind of caught us off guard, those first 3 quarters that we talked about as a staff. But I was just proud of their efforts, man. They dug in, they hung in there. There's no quit. These kids have had a bunch of minutes as freshmen, so they're used to those moments. They got a good AAU program. And they've been playing, these two have been playing together for what, Coach?
Third grade.
Yes, it's third grade. So they really understand each other. And as far as our school goes, we try not to schedule our region and our gaps. There's probably 8 to 10 teams that can play like this. And then there's a little bit of a fall off. So when we schedule, we want the toughest competition available. We're not looking for any laydown. We want wins or losses. We just want guys that can go. So they're prepared at the next level.
For sure.
Yeah.
Coach, we've seen you guys talking about your schedule in events like this. So even scrimmaging against Pebblebrook and being in several other big preseason tournaments, you just played against the team that won the Lemon Street Classic last week. And I don't think we're tested in that tournament like you guys tested them today. So it looked like you guys were extremely well prepared. Your young players are playing extremely well. Tell me a little bit about some of your young guys and how you're able to mold those guys to compete that way.
Well, last year we only had 8 or 9 guys, Coach. It
No,
wasn't
we had 11 last year.
11. Okay,
We
but
lost 3 major guys.
yeah, and these guys we've had to rely heavily on their production, and we, over the years. Let me back up and say thanks to Coach Washington for allowing us to be in this great event, because there are really legendary brackets with those coaches. But over the years, we've been so close in proximity in Mceachern that we've had kids that couldn't get no burn come over, play with us, and we allow them to fail, if you will, which brings their confidence up versus, a school of 2,000 and you got 15 guys and you make a mistake and you're out, and we've got kids that come over, couldn't get no run and go on and play college basketball. So we see that time after time after time from Hillgrove. We got guys still playing right now in college. So that's these guys and Gora, they just compete, and they're just competitors, and that's something you can't. I don't think they can steal. That's just something that is in them, and they like to go hard in practice, and I ask for a lot of dialogue with these guys. So if they're seeing something, it's not a dictatorship. It's a two-way street where I allow them to say, Coach, that ain't working. Like, we need to do something different. You know what I mean? And I think they gain trust that way. And what we're trying to give them. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. I always say the best teams are player-run teams. So that also job by you guys all year. Open it up to some questions for your players. Being young guys, I know coming up, Christian, I know with your dad coming up, you've been to these events as a spectator plenty of times, right? Is it something that feels a little different for you coming now, knowing that you're on the main court, your crowds are coming to watch your team play? What's that transition like coming from watching these events, growing up, watching these events to now playing in these events?
It's a lot different because when you're spectating, it's like fun to watch, but when you're playing, you gotta be into the game. And with that game, we only lost by 2. So you gotta actually value possessions. And I made a bad turnover last play, and that cost us the game.
Got you. Jelani, your takeoff started in the summertime. Name really started to get out there, started to go crazy a little bit, but you were able to come in. We see guys all the time that play well AAU and then come back with their school and can't really produce in that same way in a structured environment. You've been different. You've been able to take what you did at AAU and then even expand on it once you came back to playing at Cumberland Christian. What has that been like? What did you come in this season wanting to accomplish?
Coming to the season, I wanted to accomplish what we didn't get last year. I wanted to win the ship. So I told my teammates, we got to win the ship this year. So I told them we got to play together. And they're letting me take the shots that I need to take for us to get to the ship. And they're playing around me. And I told them, you got to play our roles to win the game. Like today, as an example, I was out there, they called my shot in the fourth quarter. They were like, here, keep taking the ball, keep taking the shots, and making them. And I said, I respect that. Thank you. I was making the shots. Came out to the last shot. That's it.
Gotcha.
So I just want to touch on what you just said. And one of the biggest respect things you just had is coming down when the coach called a timeout. When they came out of that timeout, they weren't going to let you go one-on-one. They doubled you. That's one of the utmost respects. But do you trust your teammates in those type of situations to give it up and knock down that shot?
I do. When I seen it came to double, I saw Elijah, he was on my right. I said, Elijah, look, make the extra pass. Gave it to Elijah. Elijah gave it to Christian. Fortunately, Chance came out and took the ball a little bit, came and rimmed out.
Guys, when you look down at the schedule and you see Mceachern on the schedule and you see Chance being a four-star kid, he's a high Division I kid. Cam McDowell is UGA kid. He's a high Division I kid. Bobby Moore, a lot of these guys that you guys probably know. What was in your head? Were you guys immediately excited by the challenge? Were you a little nervous about it a little bit at first, or how did you guys feel about it?
I was a little nervous at first. We played Cumberland. I feel like we could have beat them if we had all the young people. And we played Mceachern. It was my first time ever playing Mceachern. They're tough group.
For sure. You guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure in the years to come. And I think this type of platform, exposing your players to it, is going to be tremendous for their growth, Coach. Jelani talked a little bit about the goal being winning the championship. You guys, Coach, are you talking to your players already with that? Did you come into this season with that being the focus that we want to win it all?
We think in our minds, that's the goal every time we step in. You know, region titles, you know, we want to have a state championship all the time. That's our goal. We got 3 of them on the wall, you know, the last 7 or 8 years. So that's kind of the mindset. It's not about, hey, let's get 20 wins. We're not, at least I'm not stat guys. I don't know how many wins I got. I don't know how many assists. And, you know, a lot of schools keep up with that, and it's good. But we just try to really focus on that end goal of that chip. And I'm so thankful we got Coach Bacon and Coach Herm. I mean, we got and Barry, our trainer. I mean, our staff is just really, really solid. I mean, these guys, it's a real family feel. And when you got that, it's a fun thing to be a part of. These guys are only sophomores out there hooping with these seniors. So, I mean, 100%. These guys ain't afraid of the platform or when the lights come on. They're ready to lace up. You know what I mean?
We've seen some small schools come out here and do it before that you know, Holy Spirit, when Ant-Man was there, they could compete with anybody. St. Francis, Kobe Simmons was there. They could compete with anybody. You guys are looking like you're right in that mold. Do you kind of talk to your kids at all about like the history of, you know, the game and kind of those David versus Goliath kind of matchups? Do you guys talk about that at all?
Not really. I mean, it's more, we talk a lot of basketball. Like on the way home from practice, I got Jelani, you know, I'll take him home, and we just talk about the game and really just try to figure out each other, you know what I mean, on a personal level about, okay, Coach, this is what I'm seeing in practice, or I'll ask him, you know, hey, what do you think about this rotation? So it's really engaged in, because really when you got your better players engaged in helping you make decisions, that makes for, there's trust, right? And it makes for a better program, right? And I'm not an ego guy, beat my chest. You know, it's we always say, stay humble and hungry.
100%.
Coach, in that last timeout you called, I think it was 77 all, I think. What was the discussion like in that last timeout?
Well, we were trying to run, we got a design set where it's just a down screen and then a secondary screen coming off for a shot right there. We were looking to win. We weren't trying to tie. We were not going to 3 and get out of here.
It looked like it was going to go in.
Yeah. When they jumped that route, then we had to get ball rotation. And Chance, I mean, that was a heck of a shot he took.
Yeah.
Chance, great job defending and closing out. He did an excellent job.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go in.
Yeah, it did. Like for a long time, it was like, hey.
100%. Great job, Coach. We definitely appreciate you stopping by. Amazing performance tonight, guys. I think you guys are definitely a team that we got to watch. And some team is going to be really, really special, not only this season, but the next 2 seasons to come. So for sure, appreciate you guys. Good luck to you in the future as well.
Appreciate y'all. Scott.
Yep,
Thanks, man.
absolutely. Everybody online, we got Monday's Meal coming up next. Monday's Meal. We're back at the Champions Classic. This is Mondre Allen, your host of the Love of the Game podcast. We're here post-game press conference with Monday's Meal. Coach, man, great gear, by the way. I think you guys got the best gear that I've seen for the event so far. Coach, tough loss today against Mount Vernon. Can you just give us a readout on how you feel the game kind of went today?
Oh man, I think Mount Vernon did a great job playing to their strengths. We played to the best of our ability. We got mostly guards. We're not as big as they was inside the post, and we gave as much fit as we could. We played to our strengths. They played theirs. Great battle.
Absolutely. Coach, we talked all day about what it's like playing in an event like this. So special. Is it something that you guys kind of discussed beforehand when you made out the schedule? Get your guys, get them excited about this event? Or what does it mean to be here, Coach?
I mean, when we got the call, we were originally invited to the Tournament of Champions. And because of COVID, I county had some concerns about us being able to play in that event. But they a couple of days later, Coach Thompson and my guy from Pebblebrook, they both worked it out. We was invited to participate in this event. I like the amount of teams that was here, the quality teams that participated. Of course, I saw a couple of my region folks, and they're trying to see the Woodley Academy. So I said, man, this is a quality event, but a lot of top teams, man. So I mean, we want to be in this. So we were looking forward to the quality of competition. And definitely this has been an interesting year of scheduling for us. In the classification for 5A alone, we played 4 of the top 10 teams already. We played Woodley Academy, we would play 5 of the top 10. No team in the state has played the schedule in classification like we have. Playing a lot of top programs. We want to play Mount Vernon. They have a solid reputation for being gritty. Class Act program. So we knew this kind of event was going to put us on that stage and platform, and so that's why we was happy about participating, and we got everything we wanted out of it.
100%, Coach. We hear so much coaches say the scheduling is so important in getting the team ready for February. You can't, as they say, you can't duck that smoke if you want your team to get better. You guys have definitely not done that. What do you feel like some of the things that you guys are learning along the way that's going to help in February?
I think the biggest thing is trusting each other, moving the ball, and just believing in yourself that you can make plays as well. I saw quite a bit of it last week. Week before last, we played Tri-Cities. We put up 86 points. They put up 99. And we ran that game. Today's game is a different game, but from the Tri-Cities game to today, I saw a lot of progress from the lessons we learned through that game. And every game is a battle. We're in a war right now. You know, like I said, I go to prepare for the region. No region game, you won't call the opponents, man. And we got them.
100%, 100%. Could you introduce your players to the audience, Coach?
Yeah, man. Well, first, I want to put this out there, man. I got 2 National Honor Society scholars with me. The Dade Public School, I have a total of 4 of them. Marcos is one of our 5. We have 5 scholar athletes from Money's Media. He's one of them. Was actually what's your GPA again? You know, 3.8 GPA. Bryce and Ogletree, 3.7 GPA. So that's an unknown fact about our program. Is that,
Awesome.
We scout athletes. You know, we got on the court, we got in the classroom also. So this is Marcos East, senior point guard for us, for general unsigned senior. We're trying to get some stuff going for him.
100%.
This is Bryce Ogletree Jr. Bryce is coming in with 7 offers, 3 D1 offers. Most notable is close school representative Clark is offered.
Nice.
So we got some buzz. Like I said, you got to have grades. So that was an introduction for these 2 young men. I'm proud of what they do out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan of the HBCUs, by the way, young man. So I'm definitely excited anytime I see a young man with an HBCU offer. Take that, Bryce. Morehouse didn't offer yet. Take that. Guys, coming into this event, we've seen so many kids playing on platforms like this where their recruitment just skyrockets and just takes off. Do you guys think about that coming in, or are you more so just focused on trying to get a win for your team?
I really focus on that. Just come in, try to win the game, do what we got to do, and then look at it afterwards. And we focus on the recruit. Just think about the game first.
For sure.
Yeah, like you said, we like to focus on the game, like focus on when people watching and stuff like that, focus on the game and do what we do.
Guys, is there excitement for you guys about the matchups, or do you let Coach kind of sweat that out when it comes to the matchups so you guys focus on playing the game? Doesn't matter. They can't guard you anyway. Coach, what are some of the goals that you guys came in to this season with that you wanted this group to accomplish?
With this group, I really want them to first of all play as a team. That was one. To be in contention to win a state title, which we know doesn't happen overnight. To use each game as a stepping stone to prepare us for that. And of course, we have some defensive goals. We have some offensive goals. Today, we met a lot of our defensive goals. Our primary defensive goals, the whole team is about 12 points a quarter. The halftime score was very low. A lot of points were put up in the second half, but we were on track with that. And like I said, the main goal is that usually strengthen numbers and just playing together. And it's coming along. It's progression.
For sure.
We are able to put it together to make this run.
100%. 5A is definitely tough, Coach. We wish you guys the best of luck. Got another. You guys are playing it tomorrow too, as well, right?
We play here Heritage School out of Newton.
Awesome. So another great slate of games. Got another opportunity to go get it done tomorrow against another good quality opponent. So best of luck to you guys tomorrow and in the future as well. Thanks for stopping by.
We appreciate y'all.
For sure. Great job, guys. For everybody online holding, we still have Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon will be here next in 2 minutes. We are back at the Champions Classic. My name is Mondre Allen, your host of the Love of the Game podcast. We're here with Mount Vernon, who gets a win versus Monday's Mill. Great contest. Coach, if you could give us just some of your opening remarks about the game and how everything went.
Well, my first opening remark is I enjoy watching you guys. What y'all say? Sunday free Sunday? You know,
For sure, no doubt.
I particularly enjoyed the Jeezy and Gucci debate. You know what I mean? I'm a big Atlanta guy, even though I'm from Memphis, but I went to Morehouse, and so I'm big on Atlanta music, man. And I always enjoy seeing my man Bryce doing his thing as well. So I appreciate what y'all doing for the game. It means a lot. Giving kids a platform and coaches a platform in Atlanta, Georgia basketball in general. So thank you, man. And today had a tough game, man. We are a single A private school, so we get an opportunity to play teams from the south side and the east side. We take great pride in that. Teams that are tough, that are gritty, get up there, you well coached, fundamentally sound, particularly on the defensive end. And so we have to put ourselves out there to get tougher, to get better, to go against tough competition, to prepare to region play. This year, single A private will be the first time that we're not doing power rankings, right? And a lot of people don't know the region that we're in this year is Mount Vernon, it's Galloway, it's Holy Innocents, it's Wesleyan, it's Hebron Christian, and Providence. So these are 6 teams that are absolutely good enough to play in the state tournament. However, we happen to be in the same region. So there will be 2 really good teams that won't be playing state basketball this year. So we have to do everything we can to prepare. And we feel like we played the tournament champions the past 2 days, went against Lithonia, went against Creekside, and today we have Monday's Mill, tomorrow we got North Atlanta. So we feel that we're putting ourselves in a position to get challenged, to get better. Our goal coming into these 4 games were, do we want to win every game? Yes. But the key is to be better by the 4th game. Because once we come back in January, after we play Riverwood, it's all region basketball. So we have to put ourselves in the best position to get better. And the guys, they've been battling really hard. I've been particularly tough on the last 2 games because, one thing as a coach during this COVID season, I've struggled with how hard do I want to be when it comes to basketball? Because people are sick, people are dying. So do I really get on right now, or do we want to have fun? And to start the season, I chose the latter. I want them to have fun, so I'm not going to take certain things so serious. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do something, give it all you got. So I've been a stickler the past couple of days. They've done a good job responding. My point guard, Sincere Harris, is a junior. And if you see him, he's small in stature. He's 5'6". But I'm telling you right now, I would literally coach this kid for the rest of my life. He reminds me, I'm from Memphis. Die-hard Memphis fan, 100% Memphis guy. And he reminds me so much of what it was like growing up where I'm from. He's one of the few guys that I feel I can drop him off one of our local neighborhood community centers in Memphis and he'll be fine. He's a dog. He plays like he's 6'10". He's a junior, averaging just close to 10 points a game, 5 assists, 3 or 4 rebounds, 3 or 4 steals. And I love him. Because he makes Mount Vernon a different program. My big fellow over here, Big Keith Williams. I've known Keith since he's about in the 6th grade. Been watching him play, watching him develop over time. His father's done a great job developing his footwork, his touch, his hands, his IQ. So him coming to Mount Vernon this year was huge because I love coaching big men. His ceiling is so high that it's ridiculous how high his ceiling is.
For sure.
Because of his skill set. Very coachable, very knowledgeable, and it's been a blessing coaching this season. I haven't really coached a big man since my first year as a head coach, so it's been fun. It's been fun having a speedy guard and a big man. Chase Clinton's one of my other top guards. He's been out the last 2 weeks, so it's been great seeing our other kids step up to the plate and win some of these challenging games. Monday's Mill, man, Coach Cal, great coach. I've been following him for a while. I follow a lot of our coaches, even though I don't know them personally. They've been running and jumping the press for the last 2 or 3 years. He does a great job with their program, so I was excited to coach against him as well. So winning this game today means a lot for the Mount Vernon program, means a lot for our kids. We've been focusing on, you got to play like you believe. You have to play like you believe, and you can't believe until you start winning some of these games in these adverse environments. Lithonia we played on Saturday, man, they have a really good team. They're gonna cause some problems in 5A.
We lost them by 9. Crazy game. Got better. Played freestyle yesterday against Coach McKissick. We got better, and Coach Cal today. So I'm thrilled with how our boys are competing right now.
A lot of coaches have talked about the scheduling piece. Even during the pandemic, teams dropping off, teams picking up games, kind of all over the place. A lot of coaches have still been able to get it done from a strength of schedule standpoint, and it looks like you guys have been able to do that as well. Is that something that you try to do every year, or is it something that you try to do more because you're young this year, or how does that typically work for you guys?
Yeah. So yes, I try to do it every year. My second year, I knew we weren't as talented. I still challenged us, but I try to be a little more strategic about it. Last year, we had a decent schedule, but I had like a whole lot of freshmen last year. He was one of my leaders. He was a sophomore. Now I have 8 sophomores, right? I have 8 sophomores. I have 4 seniors. A couple are impact seniors. Only one of them start. So yes, I was like, you know what? This is COVID season. So we didn't do it. So some programs did it differently. Here, because my wife, I have a newborn, so my wife wasn't playing any of those COVID games. We did nothing in the spring, nothing in the summer. We did a little bit of fall league, but then we had the quarantine for 2 weeks. So we honestly didn't do hardly anything during the preseason. And so I was like, guys, we're going to have to get better through games. We played Mount Pisgah, the number 2 in the state. We played St. Pius, the number 1 in the state. I thought they'll probably end up being top 5 after this weekend. Who else did we play? We played Walker. Walker's having a great season. We played Walker the first game of the season, right after quarantine with no practice. So we really weren't prepared to play them, but they're a really good team. So he's absolutely right. In order for us to be the kind of team that I know we can be, we're going to have to continue to play these games until we get it right. We beat Maris this year for the first time ever. And we lose from every year, because those programs are what? They are disciplined. And there's one thing that we are lacking. We're getting there slowly, but we're still trying to kill some old habits, right? And trying to understand what real consistent basketball looks like. And you can still have fun playing real, consistent, fundamentally sound basketball. So I'm glad you noticed that, because we have tried our best to create a tough schedule this year for our boys.
100%. And it looks like you're getting a lot out of those guys too. What as you kind of go through those grind, especially with young players, a lot of ups and downs can sometimes happen, especially emotionally with young guys. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to try to keep those guys level and keep everybody focused and moving in the same direction?
Try to keep it light for the most part. We focus a lot on accountability. With 4 things I always tell them: accept responsibility, reject passivity, lead courageously, and expect God's great reward. Now, I'm not perfect by any means, but as a coach, what I always try to do is keep the main thing the main thing. And one thing I never fail at doing, I never fail at telling my boys I love them. Whether it's a text message, whether it's in person, at the end of the day, they know that I love them. My entire coaching staff loves them. So that's one thing I feel that kind of keeps things centered. You know what I mean? Because that's sometimes, I'm a baby. Yeah. There's sometimes that we're laughing. Right after our game, I made a joke about something my boy said, Coach, that's why we can't have a real conversation. You always joke, but I try my best to keep things light, especially in these times.
For sure. We'll open some things up to your players, some questions of players. I'll start with your leader there, your point guard. Since here, when you see events like this, like the Champions Classic, TOC, things like that on the schedule, what are some of your thoughts as a player? Is it about the matchups? Is it understanding, hey, I get to be on a big platform? What are some of your thoughts? How are you feeling coming into some of these games?
I'm just relaxed, really. I know it's a big platform for me and my teammates to just get better, just show teams what we're about. Because last year, we were respected, but everybody can respect us. So it's just all about getting better, getting respect that we deserve.
Good. Vicky, I'll open it up to you too as well.
Well, I love situations like this where being the underdog in these things, it just drives me into at least I know I can come in, just being a leader, just helping my team get better. Because nobody will think they're winning games. You look at the team, you see a single regardless, most of the time, the game, and we in the auction. So, of course, we the underdog. So we in the underdog. We come positive, taking everything. It's not given to us. It's like just in a position to we should be really what's wrong. Even our transfer here from Mceachern, so I'm used to being in the spotlight. So it's really the best. It's just fun, just playing basketball.
Keith, I saw you guys play yesterday in the small gym, as you just said, against Creekside. Do you guys pregame or warm-ups or whatever it is before the game, do you say, okay, they have nobody on the floor that can guard me? What's your mentality going on before the game?
So you said every game that you played, main topic was nobody can guard me, close to home. But to know when to give it to me, most people watch my game this as I get the ball in the pocket, I get stretched more than semi-pass, but they don't when I can score. Every game we played on my home game, and I got thoughts more early, but as the game continued, going to the post, we set it up here. Everybody knew they could play Creekside, same situation, just getting the next big present as they focus on the Creekside, for instance, but you know that's not him. He's scoring sincere trades, all asking everybody that's spending time, I got a college of it, okay, we're good. We got to get back. That's the sincere trade, sincere AJ. Play their roles well. It's just every game. I personally feel like nobody said goes to the bottom. It's just our team is like, even if they do somehow stop doing it, it's rare. I have my teammates back there.
So from your last school to now, how has your game evolved and developed since you?
It's evolved quite a lot because Mceachern, you both know they just strictly just was all there. It's a predominantly guard team.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, I'm going to do some work. I'm going to already know what to expect, just work. But going into it, unless I want to track the school guard, I can see my 4 years into high school team. I feel I have to take the initiative to tell my team, hey, I'm sorry that I feel like this, but if I want to develop to where I want to be, I'm going to have to transfer to a coach that will take me out and transform to the weeks I'm going to develop eventually. It wasn't no harm, no more. This is all I'm moving. I know this is the best decision for me because I have a coach who understands the role and I can enjoy building up the game.
I'll go back to the point guard since here. Now, you talk about being there and a part of this Mount Vernon culture before the arrival of some of your teammates. But now you have all of these weapons that you got to keep happy. How do you handle the distribution of the basketball? You got the beast in Big Keith. You got Chase Clemens. You got Ashley. You got all these other guys that now you're responsible for making sure they're getting the ball at the right time in the right spots. What is your thought process on distributing the basketball?
I'm just making sure that everybody's touching the ball and first taking that key. You don't see nothing and score, pass it back out, swing it, and try to get open shots for everybody. Everybody can shoot the ball, everybody can dribble, all that good stuff, make plays. So space it out, keep everybody else good.
How do you gauge when to score? Because you're somebody that can score as well. So how do you understand how to pick your spots or when to? I got to make sure I got to keep my guy happy and make sure to get these guys some touches.
For me, it's just I catch the defense lacking sometimes. They're not really paying attention to me. That's what I like. Getting other guys involved. Let them do their thing. If somebody's hot, they start paying attention to the hot person. Just want to keep always knows where I'm at. I'm always gonna be in the corner, ready to shoot. Tag, keep layup. That's what the team's always saying. Gotta be a lot on that.
I love it. I love it.
Finishing hard at the rim, just making right decisions.
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. How well you know your coach? Okay, I'm at this. You got how many times have you guys had the conversation about going to a Morehouse and Clark basketball game? More than 10 or less than 10?
It's definitely been, I wouldn't say more than 10. It's in that area though. It's definitely been multiple times where when I first started getting to the college offers and then Morehouse college started to communicate with me.
Yeah.
He was the first one to call me, hey, and go talk to them a little bit, so see what they talking about. Yeah, he definitely does talk about it a lot.
It's a nice campus across the street.
Yeah, I probably talk to you. I probably talk to you about my house. I love it. I got my yellow hoodie on here. I love Morehouse. I love 10 HBCU. I love everything about it. I love the fact that I'm at a private school where I can I have a platform. So I can lead young men, African American, Caucasian, whatever they see a young black man trying to be vulnerable. I love everything about it. So I'm very grateful. And the last day, when Sincere was talking about Monday, asking about how to get everybody involved. We always say the basketball has unity, right? The basketball has unity.
Yes,
We have a team that's talented. What I hope is that one day we play such a good brand of basketball that you don't have to worry about how many points you score because everybody's going to beat you because we're that talented. When I was in high school, which was 100 years ago, in Memphis, there was a high school, White Station High School. Okay? They won 3 state championships in a row. Their best player was Dane Bradshaw. He averaged 9 points a game. And he was the Tennessee Gatorade State Player of the Year. And he ended up going to Tennessee and started all 4 years. Right? To me, that's a beautiful thing. You can have 9 points a game in the state player of the year because their team is that good. So I hope one day you get to a place where it truly will believe it. We say it all the time. But I hope you get to a place where you really play it.
100%. Hey, Coach, we appreciate you guys taking the time to speak with us. Thanks for bringing your players with you. Incredible game. Great job to you guys. And good luck to you tomorrow and in the future, Coach. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate that.